Hello friends, do you know what is a transitive verb and what is an intransitive verb? Do you know how to identify if the verb in a sentence is a transitive or an intransitive one? Hi, welcome to Pandora English. In this video, we will try to understand the concept of a transitive verb and an intransitive verb, and we will also learn how to identify a transitive verb and an intransitive verb. This video lesson is going to be helpful for the students of class 5 and 6 of different boards. First of all, we need to understand the structure of a sentence in English. It consists of mainly two parts, the subject and a finite verb. These two are essential component parts for forming a sentence in English. For example, the baby sleeps. In this example, the baby is the subject and sleeps is the action word or the finite verb. Apart from a subject and a finite verb, one or more objects and complements may also be present in a sentence in English. For example, the birds are flying in the sky. In this sentence, in the sky expresses a little more information, and that is why it is a complement. My father gave me a book on my birthday. In this sentence, both objects and complements are present. The presence of an object in a sentence determines whether the verb is a transitive or an intransitive one. What is an object then? An object is a word or a phrase that receives the action of the verb. So if there is an object after the verb to receive the action, the verb is called a transitive verb. But if there is no object in the sentence, the verb would be called an intransitive one. Now let us try to understand the concept of a transitive verb. A transitive verb must have an object after it to receive the action from the subject. Let's look at the examples. I have learned my lesson. In this example, the verb learned has an object, my lesson, to receive the action from the subject. The boy kicks the football. The verb kicks has an object after it, the football, to receive the action from the subject. So, a transitive verb has an object after it to receive the action, and the action passes over to the object. Now, let us try to understand the concept of an intransitive verb. An intransitive verb is not followed by an object. An intransitive verb doesn't have an object after it to receive the action. An intransitive verb also discusses or describes the state of being. If we look at the examples here, we will find that an intransitive verb is followed by an adverb or a phrase beginning with a preposition after it to complete the sense in a sentence. The girls were singing. In this sentence, the verb singing is not followed by an object. Same is the case with the third example, the baby sleeps. The verb sleep doesn't have an object after it. The boy laughs loudly. Here, the verb laughs is followed by an adverb loudly. There is a flaw in this diamond. So the verb is here is followed by a complement. There is no object here. So in all these four examples, the verbs are intransitive. Now, let us discuss a few special cases. There are some verbs such as give, ask, offer, promise, tell, etc. take two objects after them to receive the action from the subject. One of the subject is an indirect object, whereas the other one is a direct object. Let us look at these two examples. My father gave me a watch on my birthday. Here, the verb gave is followed by me and a watch. These two objects receive the action from the subject, my father. Me, the person, is an indirect object, whereas a watch is a direct object. He told me a story. Here, the verb told is followed by me and a story. Once again, me is an indirect object, whereas a story is a direct object. The fact that we should keep in mind is that most of the verbs can be used both as transitive and as an intransitive verb. Whether a verb is a transitive or an intransitive one is determined only by the presence of an object after it. In these examples, we have used the same verb as a transitive verb and an intransitive verb. I feel a severe pain in my head. Here, the verb feel is followed by an object, a severe pain. And how do you feel? Here, the verb is not followed by an object. Therefore, in the first example, the verb feel is a transitive verb, and in the second example, it is an intransitive verb. He spoke the truth. Here, the verb spoke is followed by an object, the truth. He spoke loudly. Here, the verb is followed by an adverb loudly. Therefore, the first one is a transitive verb, whereas the second one is an intransitive verb. The driver stopped the train and the train stopped suddenly. In the first example, the verb stopped is a transitive verb, and in the next example, the verb is an intransitive one. Now, I'm going to give you a step-by-step guide to find out whether the verb in a sentence is a transitive or an intransitive one. The key is to find out whether there is an object after the verb or not. Now let's take an example and try to find out whether the verb is a transitive or an intransitive one. Let's see if there is an object after the verb or not. To do so, the first thing that we have to do is to mark the verb. The policeman blew his whistle. Here in this sentence, blew is the verb. Now we have to ask the verb blew what or whom, and try to find out if we get any answer to this question. So blew what? The answer is his whistle. So therefore the phrase his whistle is an object to the verb blew. As the verb blew has an object after it, then it is a transitive verb. We should remember that on two cases, the verb in a sentence must be an intransitive one. If the main verb is a form of the be verb, and if the main verb is followed by an adverb or an adverbial phrase starting with a preposition. On these two cases, we can easily identify the verb as an intransitive verb. Let's look at the examples given after the 2 points. Here are some questions for practice. I hope you will find this video enjoyable, and if you have found it useful, then please like, share and comment, and don't forget to subscribe. Thank you very much for watching this video.